hills and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance to spit in his eye. Well, they gave me bars, but I can see between to a dusty yard and a long gone green. They call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I dry my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone. I'm sober as good.
Welcome to Short Bangers. This is episode 49. I'm Matty and joined by John and Colin still, because it's still Thursday night and we're still recording. So nobody's died yet with the heat, which is good.
No, but I'm Googling dry ice for Colin just for now and the next few days and how to get it to his house and how much it's going to cost.
I'm just glad I shaved all my hair off today just to keep myself, because if I'd had fucking hair, man, I'd be sweating. I took this off because eldest daughter's boyfriend meeting him for the first time tomorrow, so I thought, right, it's all coming off. And I'm
going to try to look harder.
Aye.
So the firmest, you've been practicing your firm handshakes. Like
Roy Keane accent. Fucking firm handshakes and go get your haircut.
Have you seen Bad Boys? I think, is it Bad Boys 2 when the boy comes to the door to take the daughter out for the first time?
Aye, yeah.
Try and get that routine going. Get Matty around. Just the two berries intimidate him. You ever make love to a man?
Right, let's get straight into the questions. Liam says, which SPFL manager do you think does the biggest and smelliest shite?
100% Tommy Wright.
Oh,
So
that's
a good shout.
the SPFL is on the Scottish League.
It's the whole league.
Well, that's it.
Dick Campbell's got to be up there as well.
Oh, big time. Although, I think you missed one here. John McGlynn.
John McGlynn.
See, I
think McGlynn would be he'd come out waving the cap to wave the smell away.
John Hughes would be like that as well. John Hughes would be one who would be pushing you into the toilet at the back and shutting the door so you have to smell it, because that would be good banter.
Currently not a manager.
I think John McGlynn would be doing Gillian McKeith style job. He's like, I reckon he's on the kale and quinoa and everything that begins with a K.
I think
Gerrard,
Ian McCall could be a good shout.
Ian McCall.
He shat in somebody's shoe once, mind.
Aye, Ian McCall has got an Oliver Kahn stroke Lothar Matthäus head, hasn't he? You know what I mean? Like he's
like square head,
a wee bit too big.
Aye. His nickname is Heed, definitely.
Heed,
Heed like that. He's got a head too big for his body.
I've always thought that about him. Even when he was a player, he thought, "Oh, fucking hell, wouldn't I like to have been his mum?" Gerrard's going to be the worst because he looks like he's forcing it out all the time. So when it eventually comes out, it's been in there for a while. That's bound to have been festering.
See, I'm just basing this on total stereotypes. So given Gerrard's career and given the money that he's got, I reckon he's got a good diet behind him. Like, he's still in shape considering that he has not played football for a few years. Whereas I reckon the Scottish managers that I've mentioned, like Dick Campbell, we've seen no manager up at, was it Arbroath?
He's been
he would have been on.
Place,
he'd have been on the steak and haggis pies. Like, he's definitely still getting a weekly delivery.
So having said that about diet and that, what's the diet in the prison like? Because I reckon Martindale's is going to be fucking
Martindale.
Well,
right.
Big Martin Martindale. Aye.
Do you think he's still making a prison hooch at home?
He's eating slop for his breakfast.
I wonder if he's on the phone to the boys. He's talking, right, boys, what's on the menu this week so I can get the order in for Aldi.
We could
sit in a bucket in his living room.
we could. So if you're an SPFL manager listening to this, rate your smell of your shite 1 to 10. Text it to 80295. Just put my shit smells 9 out of 10. Or 8 out of 15. 8 out of 15, even better.
Text it to 80295.
80295. Get it sent in. Right, Matt says tits or ass.
I'm probably more the latter on that one.
Option one for me.
I'm trying to not be typical male here, but can a nice bum be as attractive as a nice chest? So like a nice shapely bum or a bit of cleavage, can they both kind of even out? Can they both be equally attractive?
Yeah.
Nice pair of jeans or whatever, aye, lovely. Yeah.
Moving on.
Well, the next question comes from Random Dribbles. Shaved or not? We've covered this before. I
prefer Colin's head shaved.
Aye, it does look better.
00. 00 the Turkish calls that.
Or an ooh. Is that call it?
I think there's such thing as a 00, but that's what they call it up there. So.
It's still 0, isn't it?
0-0, eh?
Aye. Ricky said, what would be better entertainment? Midgets playing basketball with the proper sized court and net, or the tallest basketball players playing three-a-side football with the goals and pitch the size of when the kids get to play at half-time Easter Road?
What's the difference between a midget and a dwarf?
What's a leprechaun? John, where do you see this one going? What's better? There's nothing funny about midgets playing basketball. We need to make that clear. If you're finding that funny, you want to be having words with yourselves and at least sharing the link where you watched it, so we can tell you that it's no funny after we've watched it ourselves.
Condemn that.
Is midget the acceptable term, or is it little people?
Well, I don't know.
Or is it dwarf?
I don't know.
Here, we're in this debate here. You can go around the circles with us.
Aye.
Honestly.
There is a difference. But
so was the question which would be funnier?
Something about, right, one of them is they're in proportion.
Aye.
They're just small. I'll leave it at
that. But it's the same, right? Like you're still putting.
No, midget's different. They're different.
No. What
you talk about what's funny for the video. So tall people doing something that's tiny.
Yeah.
So
the sensitivity is around the little person and their disadvantage, but like equally, the big person is at a disadvantage. So
correct.
Yeah. So, but I think it's easier for the big person to score into a small goal than it is for a wee person to reach up to the net. So you'd probably find that some people would be laughing more at the midget
basketball.
Or dwarf.
Yeah. Not
because it would look funnier. I don't think it would, but they would, because they're very sick people.
So somebody suggested to introduce trampolines to make it easier. Which is a genuine tweet that we got.
Have you seen trampoline basketball? I don't know if they call it extreme basketball, but there are people that play basketball on a court which is made up of trampoline.
Yeah, I've seen that before. But why does the ball not bounce like fucking ridiculously then?
That's a good question. Physics.
That's a great question.
Yeah, must come down to physics, but
no, the ball must bounce on the trampoline. Like, how would I know?
I reckon it's because the ball. How do I put this? So when the ball bounces off a normal basketball court, it's got something to bounce off of. It's got something firm, whereas the trampoline itself is. It moves. It'll absorb the impact.
Yeah, the trampoline will take some of the energy, wouldn't it?
Yes, that's the word, energy.
Yeah.
Right. All your science questions answered here, like QI. Fattest Prickus, we all know the plural for Viking is Vikings. Should this be shortened to Vikai? Vicky. I'll go for Vikai. It's better. We'd save 3 whole letters and a huge amount of time.
We had loads of time. How much time, though?
Loads. Because you talk about Vikings more than you talk about picnics, don't you?
No.
What? So everybody had like loads of conversations about Vikings.
Just midgets and dwarfs, my house, like.
Oh. If you live in York, they love the Vikings down there, don't they?
Would a plural for midget be midgie?
Midgie.
Midgie.
Save a lot of time, like.
That's how Midgure got his name. Midgure was actually Ken if he opened up his coat with 3 standing up on each other's shoulders. No, a lot of folk care that. Aye, Alex, because we never allowed the pick now one. We'll take Vikai or Vicky. What would we go? Would you go for Vicky or Vikai?
It would need to be Vikai because if you're saying Vicky, you need to go Vikai.
You can't have Vickies making up an army of Vikings.
No.
That just totally. It just neutralises them. You're not scared of Vickies. You'll be scared of a lot of bad guys.
You ever been to Benidorm and seen Sticky Vicky though?
I think I've seen the video.
That's pretty scary. Well, imagine that being your. Okay, what am I going to do with my life? I'll be sticky. I'll be sticky.
I think though. So I seen her years, 1995. I was in Benidorm and I saw her, and she was an old woman then. I think her daughter now has taken over the mantle, so she must have taught her daughter. Aye, right. So bottle of beer. Aye, show you. Right. Here's fucking.
Here's how you do it. I'll show you the secrets.
Fucking hell, eh?
Do you want a bit of beaver serum?
That's quite the legacy to pass down, isn't it?
Aye.
Like, well, maybe. Well, you could say that. How much money have they made out of it though? Because I mean,
not enough to give up opening bottles of beer with their vaginas.
Aye, I know.
Maybe Sticky Vicky's great granddaughter will not have to enter that line of work.
I'm going to Google that because I think her daughter's not called Vicky, right?
Is it Vicky?
Well, there's more than one of them. I'm going to look it up because I think she's got another name.
Is it still Sticky though?
I don't think so.
Is that carried over?
Like Tacky Tina or something?
Because that's a bit like, I think if you were going to market yourself, Sticky is known. It's no word that you're thinking this is going to draw the punters in.
Yeah.
No.
Well, she retired in 2016, Sticky Vicky.
Oof.
She was just waiting for him to win the cup.
Finally, it happened.
Yeah.
You look that up, Colin.
I'm trying to find her daughter's name.
I wondered if she was on stage when David Gray put the heat on it. And she was like, fuck it, yeah. I can't quit.
Bottle of champagne. Popped a bottle of champagne.
Just walked on.
The bubbly.
Oh, imagine her waiting for the final whistle.
Junior asked, it leads on to the next question. Junior asked, if you wanted to become a woman, what would your name be?
I'd probably go Sticky Vicky.
Aye, I kind of feel rude not to now, eh?
In honour, in recognition of her services to Stag Do's for the last... Well, how long was she working? You were there in 95, she quit in 2016, but she was presumably
in 95 she was already
that.
Renowned by then, no? I'm trying to find her daughter's name, sorry, but I did have a whole thing up about...
I used to have her on Facebook.
It was one of them, right? It was like... seen her once, right? And then you're sitting, you move pubs, and then next thing they'd be back in, you'd be like, fuck me, they just following us round. Again, it was like, because you would do a tour of the boozers. I'm just trying to find out when she started in... Oh no, I'm pausing too long. I can't find
doesn't matter.
I can't find when she started, but she's ancient anyway.
Ewan Wilson says, asked if an ambulance is on a 999 blue lighter and knocks a pedestrian over, do they stop to help a pedestrian or keep going? Somebody answered this one. They could give the actual answer, but I'll not reveal what that is yet.
Oh, so an actual answer. I would think they would have to keep going because otherwise you're jumping the queue.
Right. That's the correct answer. That's what they've...
Is it?
So basically something. But then, in practice though, if they've had an accident, they have to stop for the police.
Unless they they don't have to. If you've reported it, they would go in the walkie-talkie and just say, get another ambulance out because I've hit somebody.
I suppose.
And then you've reported it because it's the reporting of the accident you're not left to see an accident. You have, but you've reported it. You know what I mean?
It'd be hard for them because if you were the paramedic, you'd be like, fuck that, you'd be guilty as anything. You'd feel like you probably had to deal with it there and then.
But it depends if you've got somebody in there that's trying to get to the hospital or you're trying to get to somebody that needs saved.
Aye.
And
they have been waiting longer, to be fair.
Correct. It's a way of jumping the queue, isn't it?
Another thing you have to bear in mind is it's got to be the pedestrians in fault. If the blue lights are gone and the siren and that, they should be fucking paying more attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
if you're deaf and blind.
Blue lights.
Well, no, you
don't be walking around. Can you dug it out? If that's you.
Yeah, the dog's splattered all over the road at this point.
Well, the dog should have come better, eh? That's what they're trained for.
What's uterine cancer?
Urinary tract. It'll be. Aye.
That's what Sticky Vicky got diagnosed with. Who would have thought that, eh?
That's a
is that what put her at the game?
Well,
is that career-ending injury?
That's what I just found out.
Right, Ewan also asked What's red sauce always trying to catch up with? Obviously, the only correct answer to that is fast food, I would guess.
Is it you that mixes your sauce on bacon rolls?
So,
He's mayonnaise guy.
I have done it before with ketchup and mayo on it, but it's not something that I like a go-to. It's just nice. Right, the Hibster here asked, "Donde estas los functions?" Which, when translated, means where are the functions? I think if that's a reference that I should know, I didn't know it though. So I neither know where the functions are nor what the reference is.
It sounds like one of those phrases that you'd get taught in high school Spanish, like one of those, like "Où la bibliothèque." But I know that's French before you start.
I'm sure this last question was a Monty Python reference, maybe for the Life of Brian or the Holy Grail, but this one's escaping me. I didn't get it. You and Cecinas have had a sensible answers in the reply. If they don't stop, should they get a hit and run charge? So the paramedics, should they be charged for hit and run? Or Colin, you answered that already.
Our legal expert.
That's how I'd cover myself. That's why I'd be walkie-talkie.
So when the ambulance is called, presumably it's for an emergency or someone's really badly injured. Do you think if they've just battered someone at when they're piling along the road at whatever speed they're doing in emergency mode, lights going, sirens blaring, do you think they assess what they've just done? So you were talking about the driver maybe feeling a bit guilty for having battered someone on the road. Do they provide first aid?
Well, no, that's what we're saying. They've got to go to the other.
Well, they've got an emergency to deal with.
They've got an emergency to deal with.
But what if this emergency supersedes the original?
How would you know?
That's what the answer was. It doesn't. You have to go to the original one. But what you're saying there about the guilt, and actually, these guys are way in credit with it. So they've probably got a few murders that they can get away with without still being in deficit for the good that they do. So
could you imagine the planets aligning for the person that you really fucking hated, that you wanted to hit with your ambulance, just to be walking along the road one day when you're on your way to an emergency?
And you're like that.
Ideally.
You wouldn't think twice, would you?
I wouldn't.
Do you think if you were the second paramedic, so that you're the other ambulance driver, right? So the person, ambulance driver one, is good. They don't know the person, right? So it's no one that they've targeted. They've gone fucking cleaned them out. You're ambulance driver two. You get there, you go, oh, it's that prick. Does that affect how hard you're pushing down on their chest or
reverse?
Tell your paramedic pal to go for a wee smoke break. Come back in 10 minutes.
It must happen the way like paramedics must turn up sometimes and go, oh, I fucking hate this cunt. And obviously it doesn't, because they're professionals, they go and they do what they need to do.
They try.
But it must cross their mind sometimes to go.
It has to have happened at some point in human history that exact scenario has happened.
If you're a paramedic,
I'm sure.
If you're a murderer,
text in the things you've not tried as hard to 80295.
I'm sure they try. I'm going to give them
of course they do. Of course they do. There's no suggestion that they do. David Loudon said, "What's the worst job you could have on a Scorcho day like today? For example, a gimp suit model,
or a podcast contributor." Because I'm fucking roasting sitting in this cupboard.
I think most jobs are shite, eh?
A miner, because that'd be fucking roasting underground, wouldn't it? You ever been in the tube in London? When you go down the fucking and it's hot, it's 26, 27, 28 degree day, and you go down the escalator, and it just gets hotter and hotter and hotter.
Here's a question: see, when you've come out the tube in London, have you ever wiped the inside of your nose afterwards and seen the amount of soot that's in there?
No.
Next time you're down,
I'm going next week.
Take a pair of white gloves, kind of like the snooker referees.
Yes.
Or do you come in there, they go and four on a bed and they go and see how clean the room is and they're like that. It's no dusted. Like that.
If you didn't fancy picking your nose, definitely stick a wee tissue or something up there and just
fingers.
Oh no, I like picking my nose. Look at the size of this thing. You did get a size of nose like this without picking it.
What to do, Colin? Right, is obviously you'll be masked up. So Wait till you're sitting.
Although it's not mandatory. Oh no, Sadiq's made it mandatory actually. You're right.
You could take your mask down a bit to do it and make eye contact with somebody when you do it like that. And imagine how outraged they're with fucking right to the Daily Mail and everything.
From what I understand, that's not the worst thing that people do while on the tube looking at other people.
No, I don't imagine it is at all. John, what was the worst job you could think of doing in this heat?
Still model or still statue. You know the ones that you get up like the Royal Mile that are covered in the paint.
Oh, the robot boys in that. The Tin Man in that. Yeah.
I would just sack it the day if I was like that.
Take the day off.
When there's roadworks and there's somebody got to stand by the stop go sign, that'd be my answer.
That's the easiest job in the world, they cunts. The fucking
road
roadwork
like this, so because
they just get their. But they're the boys that get the total tan on the top half and they're just white legs because all they are doing is spinning a pole. You know what I mean? And they can't.
What about the guys that are laying tar, like stuff, or putting the doing the road repairs?
But they're moving about in that though. Do you know, like?
I'm thinking about the heat coming off like the bitumen or the tar or whatever it is that they're putting down.
Oh, that's a good point.
Think of the breaks they get, right? Because any time you drive past these boys, right, they've dug a hole or whatever they've done, right?
We're cocked round it first.
And there's fucking 4 of them watching the one boy doing a bit of work.
Aye.
Right. There's always 5 or 6 boys. There's one boy sitting in the GCB. There's 4 standing outside it, and there's one with a spade. And you think, I want to be one of these 4 boys that they fuck up. Come on, it's like they're getting paid money to stand and watch a boy working.
Do you think it's maybe just like the same amateur dramatics class, just touring the country?
Do you mind Trigger Happy TV? And there was one where he had the stop go sign, but it was stop on both sides. Which is like so simple, but it's so fucking funny as well. Because the thing is, he would stand, car would be waiting, he'd turn it, they'd start to move, and then ram on the brakes again, and just sit waiting.
Edinburgh's brilliant with the lights now. They just have it though. You're sitting that long at times. It's the equivalent of that. Because you're sitting going, you see folk edging going, these lights are fucked. I'm just going to take a chance.
Kevin, what's worse?
Sitting that long.
When you get sets of traffic lights that go red for a second. And there's like no rhyme or reason for it. They go, oh fuck, the lights are changing, you see, you kind of stop. And then immediately go green again.
The ones at Cameron Toll, or if you're coming for like doing Gilmerton Road towards Cameron Toll, and you come to that, you can only go left or right.
Aye.
When you get to the bottom, you go left up towards Liberton or right down towards Cameron Toll and Minto Street and that. They only, between 4 and 5, 6 o'clock at night, you're lucky if you get 2 cars through. They just go red, amber, green, fucking green, red again. You're like, fuck's sake! Like nobody gets through because obviously they're focusing on the main road, but they're they just fucked up for everybody.
Aye, stupid lights. Right, Charlie B, who was on Monday night, he says, why is 11 pronounced as 11 and not 1 to 1? Like 21, 31, 41.
That's a fucking. Hey, that's a
fair point, eh? Fair point.
But it wouldn't be 1 to 1, would it? Would it be 10 to 1?
Well, 11 and 12 are the ones that kind of fuck it, aren't they? Because you've got. Then you go into your teens, but everyone else, once it gets to 20s, 21, 22, 23, 31, 32, right? Between. Because 12
it wouldn't be 1 though, like John saying, it wouldn't be 1 though.
Aye,
because 1 to 1's 2.
Be 10 to 1, 10 to 2, 10 to 3.
Yeah, that's true.
10 to 5. And it's just because it must be because that sounds fucking stupid.
Well, they all sound, if you think about it, they all sound quite stupid, eh?
What? Like, so carrying that on, so like 21, 22, 23, do you think they sound stupid?
Aye. If you think about it, it's fucking...
Numbers are stupid.
Numbers sound stupid.
Matty Fernie.
Aye. There's loads of words like that. So if you think about it, and you go, that's a fucking stupid word.
I find the word outstanding to be ridiculous because of the number of ways that you can use it. So you can have an outstanding report that's outstanding.
Yeah. And if you had a really good report that was late, you would have an outstanding report.
Yeah. Aye. So actually, so that's at least 3 different ways that you can use that word and probably use it in one sentence.
See if, see if you had more than one outstanding report, would you call it outstanding?
Aye, because that was...
Save a lot of time.
It would save a lot of time. 150k in Hanlon House said, in the event of a fire, the firemen, women, people have to evacuate the fire station to a fire assembly point, and they have to wait until the fire brigade attends and give the all clear so they can go back into the fire station.
I know a fireman. I'm going to ask him that question.
So I would say...
They would just tackle it themselves, wouldn't they?
They would, but I bet health and safety says they shouldn't.
Aye. This is what I'd imagine. And I know, listen, I hope that didn't sound like fucking PC gone mad, health and safety gone mad, blah, blah, blah.
If anything was to happen and all that shit, and anything went wrong, and they were doing it and they weren't meant to be, that's where the insurance and that wouldn't be.
Aye, they would. Yeah. So if
what they goes on fire, they've got to be a Musselburgh coming up the road.
What are they going to do? Like, the fire alarm in the fire station goes off.
Imagine the abuse they would get, though. Imagine the abuse they would get. They're standing outside, there's a fire, and the Musselburgh boys turn up to turn it off, right? And they're like,
all right, boys, for fuck's sake, that's it. You'd be just staying in the building, just hoping.
I'm just thinking about them sliding down the pole, getting into their own fire engines, pulling up outside, getting the hoses out.
Come back, Nino.
Scoring the block or something. Round the fort and back.
Scudding a fucking ambulance across the road on the way around the roundabout.
The next question comes from Random Dribbles. This is a question that you sometimes wonder where folk are coming from. Is Homer Simpson's cum yellow? Depends how long it's been on the sock, probably.
Has a Simpsons character ever bled?
Aye.
Have you? Can you think of it?
Yeah. So it's not yellow blood. So I would imagine that other body fluids retain the same characteristics as a normal person. There's a Simpsons and Family Guy crossover. I don't know if you've seen that episode. And basically the Griffins go to Springfield and they're getting on well with the Simpsons, and then there's a fight over the beers because it's Duff Beer and whatever they have, the Pawtucket Brewery, is it? Family Guy. It's the same beer. They peel back with the labels and go, oh, fucking, you're ripping off our beer. And then they have a big fight. And do you know how Peter Griffin has the chicken fight? Right? It's like that, where him and Homer having the big fight.
But it just carries on.
Homer's end up covered up in fucking blood, and Peter's covered in blood. So, yes, I've seen them bleed in that episode. And there was also the one where Maggie was self-harming.
And what colour was that?
That was red as well.
Red.
It's one of the lesser-known episodes. That was it a Halloween House of Horrors episode?
Like House of Horrors or something like that. Aye.
The late night one. The late night one might have to come in as well. Maybe.
Aye. Right, good question. Good question. Anyway, yeah.
Sex education.
That's
an idea.
What?
Homer and Marge teach the Kama Sutra or something. You can imagine that on a dodgy VHS.
I would guarantee somebody somewhere has animated The Simpsons shagging.
Aye, my internet history says it exists.
Right, and the last question of the week comes from Chatter, who asked, did Tony Christie or indeed Peter Kay ever get to Amarillo? Did anyone actually get around to showing them how to get there? Because, by Christ, they asked often enough. Sweet Marie must be some age by now, like say. Older than Sticky Vicky, probably.
Was she waiting for them both?
I don't know.
Was it a love song for the same woman by two different men?
Could be. Maybe she split up in one and went, to the later, your model. Do you know where Amarillo is? Anyway, this is a trivia fact.
Is it in Texas?
It is.
What's the punchline?
No, there's name. There's just that's where Charlene Spiteri lives. It might be her that she was going to see, but that's where it is. If anybody was looking for the way you just get to Texas, and you'll find it. If I just ask somebody there,
stick it in Google Maps.
They'll show you. That's it. That song wouldn't get made now, because somebody say, "Fucking put it in your phone." I'll tell you, Siri. Siri, here's fucking Amarillo. I'll go. Here you go. There's a way.
What you should do, I don't know if you can still do it, but on Google Maps, you should put in your address or say Easter Road to Amarillo and post the step-by-step directions as a thread on Twitter.
Send it to 80295 for the team of the week. Right, that was the last question. That's us done for the evening, guys. You can go get yourself cold beer, some dry ice, a fucking cold bath, cold shower, whatever you want. We have deserved it. No together. We're not going to do that together. We're in different houses, just in case anyone's getting ideas for next questions. We'll be back on Monday with Long Bangers. We don't have any guests lined up for this Monday, so I might have to go contacting folk. Or we could do a season preview, because we're getting close. When does the season start? We must be close to it now.
Well, the European games soon, eh? But
we play Europe. Ewan was saying earlier that we play next Thursday in Europe.
Right.
They're playing tonight to find out who we play.
They've done it. So it was the Andorran team that
I've got no knowledge of them. Like,
no, same here.
Was it the 30th of August? No, 30th of July, 1st of August. Is that when the season kicks off?
Aye, Motherwell, isn't it? It's a TV game. Yeah.
Aye.
So we could start actually doing some proper Hibs chat. Preview. How was Arsenal, by the way, John? You were at the game, so how was it being back at Easter Road just before we finish up?
It was brilliant. It was really, really good to be back. It was a different seat for me. I was sat way up the back of the east, kind of almost in line with the 6-yard box. So it's always nice to take a wee tour around the ground, and it was brilliant seeing Hibs play. And it was a really nice touch for the players afterwards to come round and do the obligatory sort of round of applause. And there was a couple of wee shouts at the start of the game as well, which was obviously strictly forbidden by the joint response group. But folk went, "Ah, fuck that!" And there was a couple of shouts of "Hi bees, hi bees,"
good,
which was good to get involved in. And Hibs looked good. I think because of the opposition that we were playing against, Hibs played more counter-attacking football, but when Hibs broke, they broke quickly and directly, and it resulted in a couple of good goals. It's a really good play.
That suits us, but it doesn't suit people that want to watch attractive free-flowing football, does it? But
no.
It does suit the style of player we have, and then you didn't get that opportunity at home a lot, which we found last season.
Yeah. What I'd say is that we were missing the likes of Doidge, Tiki Tripod. There was a lot of Murphy. It was Murphy. Typical. I mean, it was a typical friendly in as much as for about the 60th minute onwards, it was just like a revolving door of substitutes. Right. But what I saw from the players that were on the pitch, they all played really, really well. Scotty Allen was back to his usual tricks, like he threaded a beautiful ball through for Stevie Bradley to rattle one off the post. And it was Scott Allen, Gilman's due, like he doesn't appear to be suffering any ill effects for his diagnosis. He was hearing about the pitch, chasing stuff down, getting involved, deft wee flicks and touches here and there.
Fingers crossed. Because you could see last season when he was here, he was struggling. Like even before we knew, like he was diagnosed with anything, or he knew. You could see the start of the season he was struggling. So hopefully that's his kind of got his still sorted out.
Yeah. Can you see the goalkeeper at Arsenal started with featuring for them again at any point?
I think it's a shite one because I don't know why I'm trying to defend him, but it was a shite ball to begin with. He's left with very few options there to try and clear it. I'm assuming that he's not very good with his feet because how he went for it didn't seem particularly committed. And I don't know whether
hands that looks at because he could
just
he could have headed it. He could have done anything. He just
he's made an ass of it. I think he's only just been promoted to the first team, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But
if that was when you saw that happen, if that had been our goalkeeper, you'd have had all the Arsenal fans slating the state of Scottish football. Yeah. It was like the England game through the Euros final when Maguire passed the ball right at the start, passed the ball right into the corner. And that first thing I thought, obviously for that corner, England went up the park and fucking scored, right? But that pass, see if that had been in the women's Euros final, it'd be cunts all over it again. At fucking
absolutely.
Look at the state of women's football. It was the European the
championship
finals.
He shot it here. Aye. He's booted it out. He's just like launched it.
Kicked it with his face in. Aye. Just brutal, and then that Arsenal keeper doing that.
See the Arsenal goalie then, was he ahead of Macy in the pecking order, or is he new in?
New in, I think. I don't know.
Must be new in, because I think, was Macy like third string at Arsenal?
I think so.
Well, Macy's been on the bench for like the FA Cup final and that, so he couldn't have been far away from. I don't know if he actually played for the first team.
Aye, but that doesn't always mean, like, if you're second string at a club like that, their actual second choice is away on loan somewhere to get experience and put the third choice boy on the bench. But I just wondered if that boy was there at the same time. But.
Right. Anyway, point is, we're back on Monday, so join us then. In the meantime, mind and share the show, tell folk about it, etc. And we'll see you then.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink what I know.